Hello, family. This is your friend Kenesha, and welcome to another episode of Transformation Tuesdays. Remember, this is an opportunity where we can talk about how can we change you, and then how can I change myself so that we can go out and change the world. Remember, the word transform means to make a thorough or dramatic change in form, character, or appearance. And then we took transform and we split that word. And for our acronym for trans, it's taking real people and navigating towards success. And form is forcing ourselves into radical metamorphosis or focusing our mind on the right mindset. So last week we talked about the pathway to emotions and how when we're processing anything, it starts at the back of our brain, which is by our spinal cord, then it moves over to the limbic system, and that's where we process emotion. So we process everything through our emotions first, and then it goes to the front of our mind, our frontal cortex, which is where we get rational thought. So now I thought about emotions. What does the word emotions even mean? And here's what it says. It's a natural, instinctive state of mind deriving from one's circumstances, mood, or relationship with others. So it's how we feel, how we're thinking about how we feel. So when I think of this word emotions and wanting to change ourselves from the inside out and to be aware of ourselves, to transform, I thought about this movie called Diary of a Mad Black Woman. And it came out in 2005, and it's from Tyler Perry. It was a stage play, but it was his premiere movie. And boy, I remember going to see this in 2005 in the theater. And so it was about this a couple that was really well-to-do, and the husband's name was Charles and the wife's name was Helen, but Charles was having an affair and he wanted to divorce Helen. And so Tyler Perry played Medea. That was a character. And so Helen was her granddaughter. And so Charles just did Helen very wrong. She was very timid, but Medea, if you know her, she is very emotional and probably not very high in her emotional intelligence because she'll go off on you in just 2 seconds. And so when Charles kicked Helen out, Medea found out. So Medea went over to the home with Helen and basically went crazy, lost it all. Her emotions drove her to tear the house up, which landed her and Helen in jail. So I thought of this title for our topic today: She Motions, He Motions, Emotions Everywhere. So we'll be coming again from our book, Emotional Intelligence 2.0 by Travis Bradberry and Jean Greaves. Again, an excellent book, and let's see what they say about these emotions. It says, over the last decade, we've tested more than 500,000 people to explore the role emotions play in daily living. Despite the growing focus on EQ, remember that same thing as emotional intelligence or emotional quotient, same thought, a global deficit is in understanding and managing emotions remains. Only 36% of the people we tested are able to accurately identify their emotions as they happen. This means that 2/3 of us are typically controlled by our emotions and not yet skilled at spotting them and using them to our benefit. So she motions, he motions, emotions everywhere. 2/3 of people don't even recognize when they're feeling emotional. So I want us to consider this. We want to make sure that we have reflection before we have reaction. No matter what the news is that we get, no matter how someone looks at us crazy, no matter what the divide is currently in our country, we want to be a person of reflection first. Remember, the pathway to emotion is we sense something, then it goes to our spinal cord, our limbic system, which makes us emotional, and then we have rational. So if we slow it down and we begin to be people that reflect before we react, we can do better. Our last thought is regulations, not repression. So we want to regulate our emotion and not repress it. Repression just basically means that we ignore, we pretend that we don't have them. No. That's not what I'm saying. Because if we repress our emotion and pretend like they're not there, then that's even dangerous itself. But we do want to make sure that we regulate them, which means that they do not control us, we control them. So I'll leave you with this final question. How can you stop, think, and reflect before acting out of emotion. Remember, we want to be transformational people, change from the inside out. And remember, we have to change us first before we can go out and change the world. This is your friend Kenisha. I love you. Have an excellent day.